high. The topic today is how to be highly effective, and we are focusing on power of dream. If you look at my wall today, one moment, sorry. If you look at my wall today, what I've written there is better to be foolish. I'd rather be foolish and chase my dream than to be wise and not chase my dream. I repeat, I'd rather be foolish and go after my dream rather than not to chase it, and be wise and not to chase it. So that was what I wrote on my Facebook today, on my wall. So because you see, the power of dream is so enormous that you got to believe your dreams. If you don't believe in your dreams, you might be making a mistake. If you don't believe in your dreams, I do believe in my own dreams. So that's why today, is a prelude. The video today is a prelude to my fourth book, which is Power of Dream. Because everybody in this world do dreams. Everybody have dreams. You probably have had some dreams, but because the social environment don't allow us to believe it. But I'm using this opportunity today that if you dream a dream and the dream is persistently clear to you, you should believe it. Because we are trained not to believe our dreams. We are trained not to believe our vision. We are trained not to believe in ourselves. We are told not to come out. We are told not to be courageous. We are told not to be brave enough to step out. But it's necessary to step out because you are a leader. Whether you believe it or not, you are a leader. God has made you a leader. And he can't take it away from you. He has given it to you. So if you are not exercising your leadership, then you are grossly mistaken, because that is a command of God. That is what God has given to you. But unfortunately, 99% of people don't believe it. They don't see themselves as leaders, and they don't see themselves as being people who are responsible for anything. And this undermines the power God has given to us. And this, devalues who we are. So, like I stated, I'd rather be foolish and chase my dream than to be wise and not go after my dream. Because your dream is what you're going to be. Your dream is your vision. Your dream is where you're going. So I'm kickstarting it today by saying the fourth book I'm going to write. Of course, I've started writing it already. Is the power of dream. Because this power is what God has given to us. Like myself, I do dreams. But from childhood, I do believe in my dreams. And if it's not every dream I dreamt that I take them serious. It's not every one that I take serious. But the ones that were persistently clear to me, I do take it serious. So I do take them seriously, because if you don't take them seriously, then you are mistaken. So it's very, very important that when you have a dream, when you dreamt a dream, you go after it. Especially, as I'm saying it, especially when the dream was persistently clear to you. So I'm gonna, in the power of the dream, the book, I'm gonna illustrate how the dream I had, shaped my life, and why it's necessary for you to go after it. Because if you don't go after it, towards the end, you'll regret it. Because this dream is a dream God has put into your mind. It's like a vision. God has put it into your mind. You have to believe it. The issue is believing it. A lot of people had dreams, but they never believed on them. They never believed it. They never chased it. They never pursued it. And they never saw it as something worthwhile. So, and then you come out and say, oh, I don't dream a dream. I don't have dreams. You see, a dream is like a picture of where you might be going. It might be a picture of what is to come. But ignorance and superstition, they made you not to believe it. So, because of this, I said today, I'm going to kickstart the book titled The Power of Dream. For instance, when I was growing up, I tell you some of the dreams I've had, and they came clearly. Like, when I was in the secondary school, I had a dream. I saw paper, English. Of course, I believed it. I prepared for it. And the same thing came out clearly. And that was how I was able to pass my English. Because I saw the paper in the dream. But most people would tell me, you shouldn't believe it. But I wasn't foolish enough. I was wise to go after it. I was wise to prepare for it. And in the exam day, I saw it. And I was so excited that I was in a jubilant mood. Life was very easy. So the dreams make your life very easy because you already know where you're going. You already have seen the preview. The dream is like a preview. It's a precursor. Something that comes before something happens. So you don't wait until it happens and you say, oh, I dreamt of it. I wish I had pursued it. I wish I had done that. That is not good for you. So the best thing for you is always, if you had a dream and the dream was clear enough, was persistently clear enough, believe it. That was the one. My son David, I saw it in a dream. So I saw him in a dream. The mother was clutching him like this. And I believed it. I came out and started talking to my three girls. I was telling them, look, I started drawing the image. Draw the image of the person I saw, the clothes of the boy. I saw how the mother was, Fonte was clutching the David. And then we started pasting it. In fact, I had to go on the Google to get out the body that looks like what I saw. But I couldn't get it. But even the orange dress he was wearing. So that, and I saw David coming out the same way. So dreams are powerful. We've had people like Joseph. Joseph had a dream and he chased it, he believed it, he tried it, and then actualized it. Daniel had a dream. Jacob had a dream. Peter had a dream. So great men do always have a dream. But the unfortunate thing is that when you had a dream and you haven't got the guts or the courage to believe it, you are not brave enough to believe it, that is a misadventure. That is what I call misadventure. Imagine that day, my work paper was shown to me clearly, and I read all the whole 4 questions, understood them in the dream, and woke up. And then one mind told me, look, don't believe it. This is something that's imagination of the mind. Don't fixate on that. Just is something that comes and then everything fixes that. And only to go to exam. And then I see it appearing, and then I'll be saying, oh my God, I wish I had believed it. So, but myself, I knew that once I had a dream, I have to believe it. And that believing it is important. Because if you don't believe it, if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't spend time to practice the 2 questions. And I practiced them, memorized them, and I saw them, and I wrote them, and I passed. So this is clearly how dream is. So you have dreams. Believe in your dreams, especially when they are persistent. So like last week, I had another dream. In fact, this inspired me to write this book, The Power of Dream. I had a dream. I went into another world, a beautiful world. I have to be bold and courageous to say that was a beautiful world, 10 times more, in fact, 100 times more beautiful than the universe. The earth wasn't as beautiful as what I saw. So in that dream, everything was under our command. I saw people. The people moved different kind of trend. They move in a different way. You know, you have big trees. The giant trees, I saw them and with their big branches. I saw big forests. I saw beautiful forests. I saw the oceans. The oceans, flow on the same road people walk, but they don't get wet. The oceans don't flow with the speed as to consume us. The ocean flows at their own command. Once it flows around where you are, the ocean will stop. In fact, it was in a cascading form. It was like something in a step. In a step, very huge water, and it will wait for you. Wherever direction you go, let you go their direction, and before it goes its own way. This is what I saw. The people were happy. There was no wailing. There was no crying. There was no, maltreatment. There was no pain. Everybody was in a state of joy and peace. There was harmony in the dream. I said, God, thank you for giving me the opportunity to see where I'll be going. Opportunity to see where you're prepared for us. God just showed me the preview. He showed me, a kind of a little image of the world to come. Because what I saw there was 100 times what I saw in the world. I've been to different kinds of world. I've been to all parts of the world. So I saw beautiful things. But compared to what I saw in my dream, to estimate it is like 100 times more beautiful. This is a place God has prepared for you and I. Don't think here is the end. Here is the beginning. As is written in the Bible, Christ has prepared a beautiful place. So I am lucky to be, I'm privileged and lucky to be shown this kind of place. And that's why I'm saying on the Facebook. It's a fact, it's a truth, and I have to believe it. So I'll be foolish not to believe it. Because all the series of dreams I had, I always believed them. And that's what I see that happens. So this one cannot be different. So in order to expand this, in order to relive this, I've chosen to write on it, The Power of Dream. So that if you have a dream and you're not courageous enough to step out, or you're not courageous enough to walk your dream, then you might be inspired by my story today. Because I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to tell you, like, look, you have dreams. Begin to believe them. Don't wait till when you die before you believe your dream. We all dream dreams. Begin today to believe your dreams. I believe my own even when I was 7 years. So all my dreams, I took note of them, and I'm confident that they will come to pass, and they normally come to pass. All of them came to pass. So, and based on these dreams, they are going to form the subject of my book, The Power of the Dream. I'm going to illustrate it, why dreams are important, why you have to chase your dreams, why you have to fulfill your dreams, why you have to go after them. But people say people who dream don't actualize. It's not true. If you are, like say, there's a saying that if you are dreaming, if you dream, make sure you wake up. You got to wake up from your dream and start actualizing it, start living it. The important thing is believing it and living it. So I saw my dream, I believed it, I lived it. For instance, now I've been privileged to be shown the next world to come, where we are going, a beautiful place God has prepared for us. And that is the story I'm sharing to you today. It's not a made-up story. When I woke up, I prayed. I told my wife, I told my children, how wonderful and beautiful God has prepared something for us. Our life is not ending here. This is where it's beginning. There is a place we're going. There is a place, better place, 100 times more than the earth. 100 times more beautiful, more, we are in harmony. There's harmony there. There is peace there. There is joy there. I didn't see anybody crying. I didn't see anybody wailing. I didn't see anybody shouting or screaming. Everybody was moving smoothly. Their trains are different. The way they play their footballs are different. Everything is beautiful. So this dream inspired me to begin to write the book, The Power of Dream. And I'm looking forward to you reading the book. And after reading the book, now to begin to believe in your own dreams. Your own dreams. See, the issue of believing is very, very important. Because if you don't believe it, you can't realize it. You can't appropriate what you don't believe in. Belief is so important that if you don't believe in something, God cannot violate his integrity or his holiness in order to show it to you, because you don't believe in it. And another thing I'm here to tell you again is that God has created us and gave us a spirit of leadership. Now, if you're not exercising this spirit of leadership, you have to ask yourself a question. Am I sure I'm on the same page with God? Am I sure God is my Father? Am I sure God is who I believe, who I'm supposed to believe he is? Because God has given us his spirit, the spirit of Jesus Christ, inside our own spirit, because our spirit wasn't strong enough. God didn't trust the spirit. So he has to give us a second spirit of Jesus Christ so that we can be creative. We can be objective in what we are doing. We can have insight. Because I see a lot of things we do, they show that we don't have insight. I see a lot of envy, jealousy, and hatred that we see in the community, that we see in the world today. They show that we don't have insight. They show to me that we are not exercising leadership. leadership is about responsibility. And that responsibility is very, very important. You can't have leadership without responsibility. You know, you can't shit and you don't clean it. I do see some people, they walk their dog, the dog will poop down and they don't collect it. They don't bin it. They leave it there. So that spirit of laziness, spirit of not knowing that you are responsible to people, you are accountable to what you're doing. There's accountability, there is responsibility. That is the spirit of slavery. Are you hearing me? That's the spirit of slavery. One moment. The spirit of slavery is the one that tells you that you are not a leader. The spirit of slavery is the one that makes you to feel leadership is not in you. You know, is the one that tells you not to walk out, not to step out. If you are not stepping out, there is a spirit that is stopping you. That's the spirit of slavery. If you are not taking responsibility, if you don't see this world as a place where you exercise responsibility and have, you know, do things in harmony and in accountability, you know, that shows accountability, then something is holding you back. Because I look at how we operate in this world, I found out that something is holding us back. I can't imagine that somebody can live in a dirty place and still be breathing and still be enjoying it. I can't imagine that we cannot organize ourselves. We cannot organize our country. We cannot organize our state, and we can't organize our community. So what is it that is holding us from, you know, organizing and running our families and our communities in an orderly way? So what is wrong with us? So why don't we cherish something that is organized? Why don't we cherish something that works in, you know, in sync with the nature? So this, are you seeing where I'm coming now? I'm coming straight to you. I'm coming straight to the way we live our life. See, if you don't have the courage to understand that you have responsibility, that is very, very bad. If you don't have, you know, the boldness to come and to say, look, I'm a leader. Look, there are certain things I could do. There are certain things that I'm expected to do. Something is, you know, something is holding you back. There is something that is chaining you. If at this time we're still blaming the colonial masters, even though they've left, then the spirit of slavery is holding us back. You are not supposed to be taught something over and over and over and over and over and over and see you don't get it. So we can't be children. A child is somebody that is held for a particular time before he grows up to the level of being 18 years, and then he cannot have his freedom. So if you're not exercising your freedom, if we are not exercising our freedom, that's the spirit of slavery. That is what is holding us back. Spirit of slavery is the one that tells you that you are not a leader. It's the one that tells you that you have to bend like, you know, be humble like a stupid person. You know, be humble that you see something that is not good and you don't say it. You know, so it's the one that makes you to make wrong choices. If you're making wrong choices in terms of you saw something that is good, instead of you picking it, you now pick something that is bad. That is something that is holding us back. That's the spirit of slavery. The spirit of slavery is that you are oppressing your own people. You are exploiting and oppressing your own people and putting them in suffering and in penury. That is the spirit of slavery. Spirit of slavery is that you are executing, you are carrying out armed robbery and is killing your own people, splashing blood all over the place, doing rituals and killing. This is a spirit of slavery. Because you don't know that leadership is inherent in you. Because you don't know that leadership is, a gift from God and it has endowed you. It is their endowment, it's their gift. So if you are waiting for somebody to tell you that you have to be organized, you have to live organized life, you have to live a harmony life, you have to, clean a place where you are staying, the spirit of slavery is holding you back. If you are the one who sees somebody who wants to come out to lead and you are very jealous but you don't want to come out, that is also spirit of slavery. It is putting you in bondage. Then a politician that is stealing money, a money that was supposed to be used for the hospital, for schools, to build roads, clean the environment, so that people can have life. And you are stealing them and then dumping them in Swiss bank. That's the spirit of slavery. You are being confused. You are really held back. There's something Dr. Miles said. I like to listen to Dr. Miles. He said that you see, if you have the spirit of slavery, even though the chain of slavery has been taken away from you, you are still held bound. You can't liberate yourself. You can't have freedom. You are never at liberty. You see, the problem is not slavery. The problem is the spirit of slavery that is inside their heart, that is blocking you from, discerning, that's blocking you from not to have a discerning spirit. That makes you to believe that you can live in a dirty place. That makes you to believe that you will drink a dirty water, and makes you to, tolerate people who are living subhuman life. That makes you to believe that people have to kneel down for you. That makes you to believe that you have to lord yourself over people. Other people have to be slaves. That makes you to believe that you have to be, aggressive to your own people. You have to oppress your own people. That is a spirit of slavery. And they said, woe to a nation for which a slave leads them. What they're going to see? They're going to see oppressive mentality. They're going to see the oppression, hatred, killing, murder, scattering of everything. Because the person that is leading us is a slave. Because he is at home and in harmony with aggression, hatred, and killing of his own people. Regardless of anybody, if you are comfortable seeing people being killed, whether it's black or white, red or woman or anything, that is a bad spirit that is holding you back. So it can't be cured by education. No. You can have a degree, but you are still a slave. Because what makes you a slave comes from inside. You can't wash it out. Are you hearing me now? So what makes somebody a slave is not the number of cars he wears, the number of cars he drives, or the beautiful house he possesses, or the Harvard degree he got. What makes you a slave is your thinking and what you do. If you are stealing the money meant for your own community, meant for your own state, meant for your own country, and dump them in a Swiss bank, you are a slave. Because a slave is somebody who has not good thinking. A slave is somebody who is under chain, who is in bondage. If you are a leader and you are a senator or whatever thing in your country, and you are stealing the money meant for hospital, money meant for schools, money meant for roads, you are a slave. It doesn't matter the degree you possess. It doesn't matter your position. A slave is a slave. Because a slave is not what the chain people put on you. It's the chain you already possess through acquiring bad attitudes. You know, if you have a bad attitude, a bad behavior, you are a slave because you are under bondage. Because you don't know the difference between life and death. You don't know the difference between hot water and cold water. You don't know the difference between one organizing, living in a harmony and living in a clean environment, and somebody living in a dirty environment. I can't put my head together that somebody will steal 10 million, 20 million and dump it in Swiss bank, and his own people are suffering. His own people are dying, no hospital, no roads. They are living in squalor, drinking dirty water. And flies all over the place. So who made us to believe this? Is it not high time we started, living this slave thinking, slave mentality we have? A mentality of exploiting your own people, a mentality of killing your own people, bruising them, a mentality of, oppressive mentality. You oppress your own people. You oppress your own wife. You oppress your own children. You oppress your own generation. That is a bad spirit. I don't have respect for anybody that is possessed in this very way. If you are possessed with a slave spirit, you are damned, you are finished. So, slave spirit is when you are made a leader, you become a governor of a state. You steal the whole money and put it in Swiss bank, and your people are suffering. There is no electricity. The electricity is only in your house, and if you look at, there's darkness everywhere. What kind of life is that? Life of oppressing their own people, life of oppressing people, oppressive mentality. You are a slave. You might have the best degree, ride the best car, but you are a slave because your thinking is not good. It's a matter of time you'll be eating from the dust. So, who is doing this to us? Every day, if you are blaming the colonial masters and blaming people for what you're supposed to do, you've been given a position as a leader, and instead of you to bend down and study it and pay attention to it and be truthful to what you're doing, you abandon it and you'll be carrying out money. If they ask you, where's the money? You say you don't know where the money is gone. And your own people are suffering. There is no hospital. There is no road. There is no school. And then the streets are dirty and we're living in a dirty environment. And then you've been to America, you've been to Russia, you've been to Germany, you've been to England, you've been to everywhere, yet you cannot learn one thing from it. It's a shame. You have a slave mentality. You have a slave spirit. You can have Oxford degree, Harvard degree, but you are too tired. You are too weak to come out and lead. You are a slave. So nobody can cure it from you except God. You have to start praying to God to deliver you from this kind of bondage you've left yourself. Don't tell me it's colonization. Now the chain is being removed, but you have internal chain inside of you. That internal chain is what is making you not to be courageous enough to say, differentiate what is good from bad, to say that something is wrong, to say something that is, something that is right, you say is something that is wrong, you say is right, something that is not good, you say is good. You wait, somebody travel to a place, they are killing somebody, maiming people, and you say it's okay. How can you see a dirty environment and you say that that place is okay? How can you see something that is dirty and you say it's clean? What kind of life are we living? How can somebody ask you to run a country, you run it in a bad way, menacing way, in a disastrous way, and you say you are a leader? How can you be leading? There is blood every day. People are being killed. And you are happy about it and you're going about it. And you are also helping, to oppress your own people, kill them, maim them, destroy them. Because you don't know the difference. Because you lack the Spirit of God. You have been possessed by the spirit of the slave mentality. You have been possessed. The slave mentality is holding you back. Every day you are blaming the white people, the Western world. This. Why can't you sit down and manage the little resources you have? Let me say the little one in a prudent way. Why can't you be disciplined and prudent and manage your resources in a way that justifies that you have common sense? Who are you impressing? We know who is who. Who are you dressing up to impress? Who are you buying all these cars to impress? Who are you building all these mansions to impress? We know where you came from. Why are we impressing people? Money meant to build for the hospital, for aid schools, for people to be freed from bondage. And you are taking them and put them in the Western world, Germany, bank them in Germany, America, Switzerland, everywhere. And then you left your people going about hungry. And you say you're wise. It's a shame. It's a shame you are living in bondage. Look at what our politicians are doing. Stealing the money meant for a schools, stealing the money meant for hospital. When you are not well, you don't have any other place to go. There's no hospital. Now, I'm not calling somebody as somebody who is, if you want to know somebody who is oppressing his own people, what the key thing you have to know is that you shift your mentality and start thinking, look at, is the person doing something in a way so that his own people won't have education? You see, if you are allowing ignorance to grow in your own area, if you don't want people to be educated, you are a slave. If you don't love education, you are a slave. If you don't like people to have information, education, you are a slave. You see, a slave is somebody who has to maintain ignorance. If you love to maintain ignorance, you are a slave. Even if you have Harvard degree, if you don't want your own people around you to be educated and have good life, you are a slave because you are trying to maintain ignorance. We have our leaders who are maintaining ignorance in the community. How do they maintain ignorance in the community? By stealing the money meant for schools, by stealing the money meant for roads, by stealing the money meant for development, by stealing the money meant for, community development and other things. To put electricity in a place, you're stealing it, you are a slave. There's no amount of pleading, there's no amount of, explaining you're going to do for me, because you are generating ignorance. Why are we generating ignorance? So I don't want to call somebody as somebody who is oppressive or who has oppressive mentality. Now, if you, I don't want to call you that, but the thing is that if you love ignorance, you are breeding ignorance. You don't want people to be educated. You don't want people to have information. You don't want people to have knowledge. You are a slave because you are an oppressor. You have oppressive mentality, you are an oppressor. So if you want to know somebody, just shift a little bit and see what he's doing. That is the time you begin to understand what somebody's doing. Now, we don't want to call our leaders as people who have a slave mentality or people who are oppressive. Now, we don't want to call them that. But if we are stealing money that meant for children to be educated, that means you want them to be ignorant. You want ignorance to reign. Then you are a slave. Then you are an oppressor. Your name is oppressor. You are oppressing your own people. You are exploiting your own people. Shame on you.